Many people here in the room will know me. As I was finishing my breakfast, you can't walk sort of 5 feet without being like, oh, hey, because I think it's exciting for a lot of us in the room to see each other for the first time after not seeing each other in person for at least 2 years kind of thing. The last one of these we did was in 20, big one like this was in 2019, and it's kind of exciting to see the turnout here is actually pretty good. So anyway, I'm Chris Allen. I'll be the MC for the day here today and tomorrow. I was the former president of ABC Communications, and after we sold the company, I'm now a manager of operations at TELUS, and I'm still working in rural broadband, working with a lot of different acquired networks and trying to improve services to small town BC. So I'm still relevant. I feel good to be here. I'll do a little bit of housekeeping business. So we've got bathrooms are down the hall that way and down the hall that way to the parkade. We've got the Wi-Fi is just open. There's no password. It's just under Radisson. So how's that for cybersecurity? Really tight. The vendor exhibition, they're open during all the breaks, and we've got a 4:30 to 7. There's a vendor exhibition at the end of the day, so that's a great time too if you haven't reached all the vendors. But great turnout from the vendors, of course, too. So really happy that we had a full complement, and please try to visit everybody and check out their products. And we've got a place right across the hall reserved, the Plaza Room, where if you want a private business meeting, you can just go to the front desk and book a time slot there. You can meet with each other and talk in that room privately if you need to. And finally, please remain seated during the presentations. My name's Chris Allen. It's not Chris Rock. So if you feel the urge to come up and hit me, please don't. Had to make a Will Smith joke in there somewhere, right? All right. So so anyway, we're back to our regular time of the year that we have the conference here in late April, which I think we chose that so that we could really mess with the people that like to do their taxes right at the last possible minute. If you're like me, that this was a stressful week to do a conference. And I'm gonna introduce the man who I literally wouldn't exist if he didn't exist. Who everyone knows, Bob Allen, is going to come up and formally introduce the conference. And everybody knows Bob. He's probably done more for BC Broadband and the industry than any other single person. And after we sold the company, I thought he might slow down a little bit. I encouraged him to buy a sailboat, and he's taken that up, but he hasn't lost his fire one bit, and immediately started consulting with ISPs and helped construct a network, and he's doing regulatory stuff. And I hope I have half the energy he has when I'm his age. So Bob, please come up, and welcome, Bob.
Thank you for those kind words, Chris. And I do enjoy the industry. Telecommunications has been my passion, since office telephone systems were deregulated. That was my introduction. And prior to that, I was an electrical contractor, and I was just always fascinated by it, and remain so today. And I'm pretty excited about the way networks have evolved over the last 10 years. We at ABC, we had a lot of success with LTE and fixed wireless systems, and began to dabble in fiber. But now fiber has become a mainstay, and most wireless internet service providers are switching to more of a hybrid plant model. And we've got great support from our province through several rounds of funding. And now they, of course, have a very impressive scheme laid out for us that's just gone through its first phase. And how do we, without seeming superior to the other provinces, I think British Columbia has done a better job than any other jurisdiction at taking grant injections and carefully spreading them across the industry over time to bring our citizens in rural areas up to a decent level. And there is a lot of connectivity out there, but the new goal is 50 and 10 as a minimum, with ideally the ability to go beyond that. And I think that, we're going to see a big surge forward here in the upcoming year of deployment of rural fiber systems that will drive fiber out to, pretty well everybody in BC will have access to gigabit services. So good for us, and thanks to the province for engaging our industry and our community, as well as all the other players in the industry. Well, we just the minister couldn't attend in person, so she's going to be speaking to us from Victoria because the House is in session, and we have to get her lined up and on stage, ready to go. So just to talk a little bit more about the new program that came out just in the spring, the NDP government passed a significant sum in their budget of $289 million towards improving rural broadband as an initiative of themselves. And Minister Bear was kind enough to give me a call and let me know that these funds are coming and that she hopes for great success with the use of them. And then shortly after that, it was announced that they have gotten the federal government to match those funds, and they even scraped up a few more. Looking at their total allotment that's yet to be committed is about $830 million, almost $1 billion, to inject into leveling the playing ground in British Columbia for internet access. Now, some $200 million of that is semi-committed because there are, of course, awards going on in the background that are not yet, the contracts are not signed, and so no announcements can be made until that stage is completed. But still leaves us with around $650 million of fresh funds for new projects, and target to connect 115,000 unserved, or shall we not say unserved, but homes that really don't enjoy modern levels of internet service. So some of the other jurisdictions gained fairly large budgets, spread them out amongst different authorities. Ontario, for example, had a number of authorities passing out funds besides the province, and they had a whole variety of application methods. Some would come out for application, but have very onerous requirements. For example, bonding and things that are difficult for small players to organize. So that was a disappointment to a lot of the players in Ontario, that they weren't given equal access to the funds. In BC, the province, wants to avoid shocking the community with its grant call, so it engaged in a request to participate process, which serves a purpose of informing the province of what's going on out there, something they may have missed, projects that they don't know. Oh, looks like the minister could be ready. Okay, well, this is a long story, and you'll hear more of it over the course of the day. But Minister Bear is ready to come on.